Hello to my beautiful and lovely gamers, my name is Jonal. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We are interviewing a 4.5k off-tank player known as Cold, or Coldfish, is his full online tag I suppose. He's, again, a 4.5k player that started in silver and is now top 500. He plays for a bunch of competitive tier teams, and this is a guy that I worked with as a coach. He was on his very first team was a team that I actually work with a bunch of people. So I was his very first coach, and this is a guy that I've been keeping and just working with from that point and out. When I first met him, he was like masters. He's 4.5k now. He's generally just a guy that really smart and just super nice. Now please do follow this dude on Twitter. It's linked in the description, or it's cold_w if you just want to search it yourself. He has 27 followers, and one of them is me. So please do follow this dude and give him, could we at least give him like 100 or 200 followers? Because again, this is one of the nicest guys that I've ever met. If you want to see more content of him breaking down gameplay, or me and him together breaking down gameplay, coaching or something like that, drop that down in the comment section what off tanks you want him to break down for you guys. And of course, a like on the video really helps me to understand if you guys like this type of content of me breaking down. I can probably get some contenders players on here or some ex-Overwatch League players on here, which I have some contacts with. Bringing those guys online for some interviews. Likes and so on and comments also do help out the channel quite a lot against the algorithm here on YouTube. Of course, subscribe to your channel. Really appreciate it. But with no further ado, I think we should just jump straight into this interview. Hope you guys enjoy. Tell me a bit about yourself, you know, like name and so on, like, and just like introduce yourself, I suppose, to the audience.
Sure. I'm Cold. I'm 21 years old, and I live in Norway. And I play all of tanks. I recently peaked 4.5, and I'm normally around 4.4.
Like, when you play on the ladder, do you play on Cold? Because you play on, like, you have multiple high elo accounts. Like, like, what names would they maybe recognize you on when they see you on the rank ladder?
Sure. I play on Cold, which is my main, and I also have an account called Cold2. I know, very original. And also one called Coldfish. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, how did you like? What do you do before Overwatch? Like, did you play Counter-Strike? Like, how did you get into like?
No, I was a console pleb. I like only play, like, for example, like COD and shit like that.
Okay, on like PS4 and so on.
Yeah. So like, Overwatch was my first FPS on PC actually.
Okay. How did you get into PC Overwatch?
Well, I mainly got into it because my friends were playing it. So I started playing it in August 2016, and I just went from there, I guess.
Okay, but you didn't start. Okay, so you bought it on PC because your friends played on PC.
Yeah.
Did you play it ever on console before that, or did you just like?
Nope.
Nope.
Never.
You just like straight onto PC.
Yep.
How was that for you? Like, was it like really difficult in the start with like mouse and keyboard?
Yeah, I didn't know how to do anything, so yeah, I was bad, very bad.
Just curious, like who did you start with as a main?
What hero?
Yeah, what hero? Like, who did you
Well,
start
I played soldier because God.
Oh, right, yeah. What rank did you place at? Like, what was like your starting rank?
I placed in gold. I started in season 2, and then I actually dropped to silver because I was bad.
Yikes! So
Yeah.
so from silver to 4.5k, how was that journey?
Well, at first I just played for fun, you know, with my friends, and then I just kind of got addicted to the fact that you could rank up and such, you know. So it's kind of cringe, but like I YouTube like I wrote on YouTube best Overwatch player, and that player was playing Zarya. So I was like, okay, I don't care, I'm gonna get good at this character. So I basically just one-tricked the Zarya as much as I could, and I got to higher and higher rank. And I don't know, that's kind of how I got into playing off tanks. I just started with Zarya, and I liked it.
But like, when was this? Like, when did you start picking up Zarya? Was it in season 2 or season 3 or?
Yeah, this was in season 2. So like, like when I started playing competitive, Zarya was like, I insta-locked it, only played Zarya, and then yeah, that was just what I did.
One trick pony.
Yeah, exactly.
But how did you like? What can I say? How did you got in? Because you started playing on teams before, or was What was your first team?
My first team was Grip. I was like,
Okay.
I was maybe like 3.9 at the time or something like that. And I learned that to play in a team, you need to learn different. You have to play, like, you can't only play one hero. So I branched out, started to learn all the off tanks, like all Diva and, you know, all that stuff. And then you like learn to start how to play in a team. Yeah. So I kind of improve fast on teams too.
So that was the script that I first worked with, right? That
Yeah,
was like
the
script 1.0
Grip
with
1,
Aaron and
1.0. Yeah.
Aaron and what was the main tank's name again?
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah, right. Right. Okay, so, so that was your first team?
Yes. That
Okay,
was my
and
first team.
from silver all the way up there, you had managed to grind your way all the way up to masters.
Yeah, so basically Masters where I hit when I got into my first team, 3.9 basically.
But like, how was that journey, right? Because like there's off tanks, like yes, there are mechanics in off tanks, but it's not like you need to grind, you know, headshot flicks with a Widowmaker, right? Like,
Nah,
so what was like
tanks
the
is more
mentality
about,
from you to like,
so I'm a very competitive person. I hate losing, so every game I just try my hardest to win. And since like tanks is not that important to have huge mechanics, so you just have to have a big brain and think about how to win the game. So when I play off tank, what you have to think about is like what is your win condition, like not only how you need to play, but how your team needs to play in a whole to win.
hmm,
So like also is really important in how to win. And also you have to think about the enemy ults and how they can win and how you need to stop them.
hmm,
So for example, if the enemy has a nano blade, then you can, for example, get your grab and then you can grab the Genji when he dashes your supports.
hmm.
Then you stop that nano blade. So you just have to like think about how you can win and how the enemy can win and how you need to stop them.
But like, how do you deal like, because especially since you were playing in you know in low elos and you have like done that climb from silver to like as you know as well as me, yes, like playing, it's really important in GM to play like very mechanically good and just like, you know, solo carry,
Sure.
like do that 3K, do that 4K, right? That really sways the fight and have impact.
Mm-hmm.
But like teammates are also far more reliable in GM. Like they will be, there's some
Yeah.
more structure because people at least play like somewhat predictably around you. And you like
Yeah.
if you grab and you see the tracer with a pulse bomb behind them, you know that she will burn 2 blinks to get the pulse bomb stuck. She won't
Sure.
like not pay attention that the grab was dropped. So like how, I suppose the question like if you're playing in like these lower elos where you maybe you can't really rely as much on that team structure, like how do you play around that?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. So if you have worse teammates, like the same is gonna be for the enemy team as well. So both it's not gonna be good. So you have to be this difference maker in your team. So of course you're gonna get games where it's unwinnable, and you just gotta go next and play the next game. But you always gotta focus on what you can do, not only what you can do in game, but how you can help your teammates pop off as well. So it
Okay.
really helps your team to tell like, hey guys, they have mailed, so let's try to play on high grounds. So it's hard for him to ult us. And even if your players are bad, they can still listen to what you're saying,
Hmm.
and then they will play better.
But so
So
because that's like an issue that at least you know I've had for a very long time. Like I, as you know, because you deal with me from time to time. Like I don't sit that much in voice chat, and I'm not that good on. I'm not that much on the mic when I play anymore
sure.
because like I just end up tilting when people doesn't listen to my shot calls, right?
Yeah.
And like normally for me at least, it takes a lot of, especially since I play DPS a lot, it takes a lot of my capacity away from me actually playing my DPS when I had to
Sure.
try to micromanage. So like, how do you not tilt when like you're calling like, oh, I'm gonna diva bomb here, so don't push in because they're gonna blizzard, and then you diva bomb, but then they W into them and they get blizzard, and then you know your team just get ass fucked. Like how do you recover from like how don't you get
Well,
affected by that mentality when your team does not
what
listen to the call?
what helps for me is like, but if I think about how I can win the most, and like I don't tilt if I really try hard and like let's try to do this, let's try to do that. If I really focus on how to win, then I just don't get tilted, I guess. But
Yeah,
I
okay.
guess it's not the same for everyone.
Yeah, okay. So it's more
But
just you don't get mad as long as you are playing good.
Yeah, but like voice chat is like it is a team game, so if you're in voice, it helps to play together. But it's not the only thing you can do to win. One thing, if I would give one tip to how you can get a lot better in the game, it would be to try to ult track. And ult tracking in the start can be kind of hard because how are you supposed to know what the enemy has? But you just need to get the feel. So what I would recommend is to start with your counterpart on the other team. Just think about like when they will have ult, and then you try to relay that information to your team. Or if you don't have a mic, then you just think about it yourself. And this is where it goes over into positioning. So when you know what the enemy ults, they have, you know how to position to make sure that they don't get value from those ults. So you know the ults, and then you position from there. And when you get better at ult tracking, you can ult track the entire enemy team, and then you know how to outplay the entire enemy team. And if you know how to do that, you can rely this information to your team, and that helps a lot.
Do you because you play competitively for how long? Like a year, 2 years, something like that?
Yeah.
Like competitively on teams and so on, right?
Yeah.
So like do you feel that there's a difference between your team games, like how you play when you play on teams as when you solo queue, or do you, because it sounds like you're playing very team oriented when you solo queue as well, but is there a difference for you when you solo queue and when you actually scrim?
Yes, in scrims you have to play with your team all the time, but in ranked you can get away with like going on a flank and stuff like that. For example, if I play Zarya, I just make sure that I get 100 energy, and then when I get my bubble back, I go into the backline and I just kill the sports. Like,
you're trying to make far more plays when you're solo queuing than when you're playing like team oriented.
Yeah, you just take the advantage of that the enemy team is not going to be as coordinated, so you can make plays out of that as well.
But like, if you just of like my own curiosity, because like I personally, as you know, I'm a very solo queue player when I play ranked, and yes, I use my team and so on, but I always have had that mentality that, you know, my team is more of a resource. They will drag attention for me, they will shield for me, so I don't need to take that damage. They will heal me, but I'm not expecting them to make a play for me. So I played I focus a lot about how I personally can abuse the enemy team. Like, I'm very much focusing on like, where are they? What can I do to fuck them up? How can I shut them down before they kill my teammates? Do you have like a similar mentality, or are you more trusting your teams? Because when we do, it seems like a lot of time that you are trusting far more in your team than what I am.
Yeah, it's just the kind of player I am. I think that if you can make your team cooperate better than the enemy team, then you have a lot bigger chance to win. Because when you're playing tank, it's not that easy to like mechanically outskill your opponent, because it doesn't require that much skill to play mechanical skill to play tank. So you need to find other ways for you to make that difference. And if I can play good on my own and make sure that my team has an easier way to play, then you can win more games.
Let's like kind of go back a little bit, back to script and so on. Why did you want to get onto a team when you were in Masters?
Well, I just heard that like I was a big noob in the game. Like, I didn't know what teams were at all, and I just heard that this was a thing that people did. They scrimmed together and you got good games. So that was what drew myself into getting into a team. That the fact that you are playing with 6 players they're all trying to win, and you get a good environment where you can improve.
So it was essentially trying to dodge shitty solo queue games.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that you can say it like that.
And like, how did you get onto your very first team? Like, what did you just like, hey, does anybody wanna, like, how was that process for it? Like, get onto a team and so on? Like, do you have like any, I suppose, like, advice if people want to like maybe start looking into a team? Like, at what should a bronze player jump into a team, or like, do you have any like advice from that point of view?
First of all, I would always recommend for anyone that plays Overwatch to get into a team. That is like the most enjoyable way to play Overwatch, in my opinion. If you're in a team, it's just a lot of fun, because everyone is trying to win, and everyone is gonna play around you to win also. So it's just fun for the first And also like when you play in a team, it's just easier to improve because there's not a lot of you play with the same people, and I don't know. It's just good for
Yeah,
improvement
it's more
overall.
stable environment, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
every
yeah,
you know that your teammates are playing in a very specific way, so you know you have some stability. You don't have a guy that leaves mid game. Well, in EU scrims we do, but
yeah,
that's just pausing every 2 minutes. There's a fucking pause in my scrims every single time I'm there. Um,
yeah,
but it's a more like stable environment. Also, the players in theory that you go up against should be they are one coordinated and they're far more difficult to, especially in higher list, to abuse because they will like you dive the widow and then there's like a matrix around her and like two supports up her ass. So you
yeah. Yep.
can't just like focus on that one guy that feeds in the lobby because a
Yeah,
lot of time.
you just learn like you get punished, and then you just learn like, okay, I can't do this, so I need to find other ways. You just even if you just play, you're gonna improve.
Hmm. I also think that like I suppose that one of the really big things about the scrim environment is that you get like this really competitive rush because you're playing with people of your skill ceiling and like potentially higher, but at the same time, you're not losing anything by dropping, right? So if you're like
Yeah,
playing really competitively and like really focusing on this team aspect of yours, then like it doesn't matter that you lost like 10 games in a row because you didn't actually lose SR on it. So I suppose it's also like a really good way to get the competitive itch without stressing so much about like, oh, I lost
yeah,
SR this game. Like you can focus a lot more about, okay, it doesn't matter because I did improve. It doesn't matter that I didn't get that SR this game because, I improved. I didn't lose any SR. And it was just like generally an overall like enjoyable experience, I suppose.
sure.
But how do you, did you ever VOD review yourself? Like because like you said that it was like about not about mechanics but about understanding ult tracking and doing this like if you have no foundation how would you build that? Because you said you were in silver, you had no foundation, you played COD, so you'd never done any like real competitiveness, I assume, since I don't know if you played
Yeah, yeah,
Call of Duty competitively, and it was first time PC. So like, did you do
yeah.
like aim drills to like get good on the mouse? Did you do VOD reviews to understand your own positioning? Did you hire a coach? Like, how did you go from like how did you build a foundation when there was nothing there already?
So first of all, first of all, you just gotta grind the game. That's what I did. You just gotta grind the game. You will learn all the interactions, and you also get the foundation for everything just by grinding the game. The
Mm,
more you play, you're just gonna improve. It's gonna go slow, but as long as you keep grinding, that's one way to improve automatically.
mm,
And just trying to add on to your skill set as a player, like for example, learning a new hero. Like there's tons of guides on the internet you can watch on how to play a hero, and you learn heroes and you learn ult tracking. And then I would also recommend playing with someone. A duo, that shit is OP, I'm telling you right now. If you have someone you play with and you have synergy with them, it's just a lot easier to make plays, and it's one less random teammate in ranked.
mm. Did you watch a lot of YouTube? Like a lot of guides?
Yeah, I watched a lot of guides, especially for example, Diva Bomb spots. That one is extremely helpful.
Mm.
So
Did
just like,
did you
yeah, it's
replicate
not
it?
gonna.
Like,
Yeah,
did you
yeah, a
go
lot
into
of Diva
custom
Bombs I
games?
do. I've watched it on YouTube. You just set up in a spot, and it like you can get a lot of value from just watching a simple video of Diva Bombs, for
Yeah,
example.
but like, did you go into a custom game later and like do the spots yourself, or did you just like now I remember and you went into ranked?
I just go full YOLO mode and go into ranked and see if it works.
Okay,
But
okay, you're
uh,
just.
but if but if you're unsure of yourself, going into custom game is not the
Mm,
wrong thing to do. Especially since I'm playing tank, you don't have to practice that much in like custom game to get your aim like perfect. But if you're playing DPS, it's a really good idea to go in custom games and just grind.
mm. How long did you like approximate? I assume that you don't have your timeline of your rank history in your head, but like how long did you
Sure.
think it took for you to like start seeing like real progress in the rank? Was it just a slow and steady tickle of SR, or was there like big jumps where you just all of a sudden started hitting ranks?
It was slow and steady. I remember one time I was like, if I ever get to stable 3.9, I am gonna be happy with myself. And then like a year later, I'm like 3.9. That is trash. Like it just slowly but surely you just get to a new level, and it might be like a little demotivating at first. Like you feel like you're not improving, but if you just watch back and like back in time, you can see that you have improved.
So for you, it's just a lot about like focus on yourself, make sure that you yourself like are just playing it good and you're trying to be the best version of yourself in the game.
Yeah.
Like if you know your teammate has struggled with something, one, of course, yourself, look for your place, play good yourself, but also try to sometimes, help some of those teammates back up. That probably also was one of the reasons that you could transition very easily onto teams, because you already had, some form of like morality in trying to at least help players, even though you yourself wanted to make plays, but at least try to help players a lot. So your team had an advantage. And then it's just for you, just grind, just play the game, focus on the stuff, and then you will start, understanding like bad positioning and so on, and then like you will start correcting bad behavior as soon as you start losing enough, I suppose.
Yeah.
That sounds like the Coldfish method.
Yeah.
Okay, before we end the video, like, do you have like one like final tip, if that's like a mentality, or like like anything? You're getting a lot of tips this video, but like, do you have like a final like tip or advice for somebody that like really want to like throw themselves into the game, but like maybe doesn't know like how to start, or maybe they are stuck at the elo, maybe they're like stuck in platinum or something like that? Like, do you have like a good advice to some of those players that might be stuck?
Sure. Okay. So basically, I'm just gonna summarize extremely short how you can improve for yourself and just get better at the game. First of all, focus on yourself. If you just try your hardest to play your best every game, it's gonna help you from tilting. Two, get the duo or even a trio if you're not high rank. It just helps you get less randoms in your game and it helps you build synergy. Three, start ult tracking and focus on your counterpart first and then move up as you get better. And yeah, I'd like from ult tracking, you can learn how to position. Just try to negate the enemy ults and make sure that your ults hit. And that's how you position. So just go from there.
Okay.
If you start on that, you will get better.
Thank you so much, dude. I hope that a lot of players like this. Again, if you guys want to see more Coldfish, I suppose hit up a like on the video, and if there's an off tank that you might want him to do a video, I'll bribe him with something, and he might come and help make a video, a guide or something like that on the channel. So like, comment, something like that. If there's any heroes you want to see a 4.5k off tank player show you guys how to just dominate and rank with, and I'll see you guys in the next one.